Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Well, let's hope happy Monday for as many people out there as can be. Got some things to break down. If you're watching on the replay, just fast forward the intro and we're good to go. Everybody hit that like button on the way in. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Four, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here we go.
3, 2, 1, live. Cool.
Welcome back, Fun Fam. And if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to follow the Bradley's Fun. My name is Ron E. Bradley, and I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day. Speaking of the day as of this morning, today's live stream, 9:37 a.m. right now on the 21st day of October, 2024. And Yes, to answer your question, Putin's cat, yes. For those who don't have the ability to comprehend detecting a person who's in shadow, yes, I'm still using myself in shadow, which is what happens when you take something, for example, and put like a shade right there. Like, see that? See, that's a shadow. There you go. Yeah. So just to let you guys know. Oh my goodness. Yes. It's always good to be able to understand, being able to detect what a person who is, trying to kind of be off to the side, which is the whole point. The whole point is that it's not about me, that it's about the dish. It's about the information. It's about the show. It's about you guys out there. It's not about me. It is. That's why I'm over in the shadow, not really hiding, just for the fact that it's simply about the news and about you guys and not about me. I'm just over here with the microphone over the side. So indeed, let us say hello to everybody coming in the chat. I see Carter C. Good morning, Carter C. How we doing? Tom F is out there. Good morning to everybody. And Little Mouse 27 is in the house. Little Mouse says, hey, Native Hawaiian, aloha. Good morning and aloha to Native Hawaiian. Sue from the Bud Files is out there. Hello, Sue. Izzo's Place, good to see you. One of my wrenches at Izzo's Place and Tom F, both wrenching today. Thank you so much. Little Mouse 27 says, hi, Tom. And of course, my beautiful wife, dear Virginia Bradley, is in the house. She says, good morning, everyone. Good morning from my beautiful wife. And, let's see. Oh, a brand new week, she says. Yes, it is a new week. And let's hope that it's a new hope as well, because we have some things going on. And we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it soon. The Knights of Zerg is here. Hi, everyone. Hello, Knights of Zerg. Going Shogi. Going Shogi is here in the chat. Good morning, Going Shogi. And Rhonda H is here. Good morning, Rhonda H. Dan's Life at the Kingdom. Yes. We're going to talk about this one, Tom F, a little bit, and Putin's cat. Yeah, exactly. Although I will give everybody a trigger warning. I don't think that I am going to be able to mute out some language that will be coming up. I don't know if I can get around it or not. I'm going to try, but there is some video that I'm going to show that definitely has some language on it. So, but yes. And I understand that not everybody interprets things the way that they are clearly, very obviously meant to be interpreted. But, that's unfortunate. I can't read everybody's mind. I can only put out what I know works for the vast majority of people. And, that's what we try to do. But, even I obviously have eyesight issues. I have to wear glasses. If I don't wear glasses, I can't even see. This is all, I can still tell the Hulk is the Hulk, kind of. I don't know that I could tell Captain America kind of could look like Superman to me. So I do understand things of that nature. Let me see here. Before we get started because we're going to start on some things that I have to discuss that I'm not really super happy to have to discuss. I'm trying to stay up and I'm trying to stay in a good mood as possible. And in order to do that, in order to stay up and in order to stay in as good of a mood as possible, one of the things that that I like to do and we like to do on the channel is celebrate all of you guys. So when there's super stickers, super chats, super things, PayPal's, buy me coffees, that kind of stuff. Memberships drops, anybody becomes a member, or even if there are member anniversary chats, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month anniversary chat, 6 months, We haven't even been doing the show for 6 months, so I don't even think we have 6 month members. But that's going to happen eventually down the road. It'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to the time when we're doing the show and I have 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. It's going to be awesome. Actually, over the weekend, we technically celebrated the 6th anniversary of the technical opening of this channel. But the thing is, when I first opened the channel in 2018, I didn't know what to do with it, and it kind of like petered out. And I didn't really do anything with it back then. So I think that I consider the anniversary of this channel, I want to say the 13th of May instead of the of the 13th of May of last year, rather than the 18th of October of 2018, when I physically, opened the channel. But yeah, it's really weird. Time is a funny thing. Anyway, I want to celebrate all you guys, and you know that we have a celebration. I'm putting the long one on to start because while there is still life to celebrate, we've got to celebrate, and I like to celebrate all of you out there in the chat. And when we do that, I was actually going to create some new stuff over the weekend, and then some things happened yesterday that's kind of interrupted that. We'll deal with that in a minute. But we still have this one, and I know we all like to dance to it. So for now, as we get our week started, let's celebrate.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, anticipation. It's making me mental. But at least say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
Hey, going Jogi dropped 5 gifted memberships as we celebrate, and that is exactly the kind of thing that we celebrate. Thank you, Go and Shogi, for dropping those 5 gifted memberships. Who went out to? Congratulations to some of our whatever we like to call the Ninja Watchers who are in the chat, and that's great. We appreciate you guys. I tell you what, when I was first watching live streams on YouTube, I had no idea that a chat was a thing. And I remember clicking one time on my TV because I usually watch YouTube on my television. I don't usually watch on a device. So I would say that it was probably 2 or 3 years of watching live streams that I never chatted because I didn't even know it was a thing. And then one time I saw this thing on my TV, I clicked on it and it said chat, and I saw this chat. I'm like, what's that about? And so, yeah, I didn't even know that participation was available. But it is, and you can have memberships and gift them and everything, and very, very cool stuff. So congratulations to Strolling with Pete, Awesome One, Journeys with June and Brady, Hope Nieto, and Zachary Taylor. Speaking of Zachary Taylor, we're going to be talking about Zachary Levi a little bit later in the stream. That will be the main story of it. But we have to deal first with some breaking news. I don't know if it's not really that breaking. This is personal news. Personal family news that I just want to let you guys know that what I'm what is the word for it? Not forthcoming, because that's what is the what's the word? Full disclosure. Somebody type the word in the chat if you're out there and you can think of it, where I'm being it's like 100%, and people say it all the time. Trying to adjust my shot here. Not just honest, but genuine. All cards on the table, candid. Those are not the words. I can't remember what the word is. It's not even all that. It's basically just letting you guys know what's going on in my life. There is a word for that, and I can't. There's so much going on, I can't think of the word. Transparent, fully transparent. I think that's the word I was looking for. Not see-through, but transparent. I think that's the word I was looking for. Full disclosure, full transparency. Yes. So because I'm trying to be in as good of a mood as I can for you guys this morning, but it's not easy because there were a couple things that happened over the weekend that were genuinely challenging for my family. On Saturday, and we didn't find this out till last night, unfortunately. On Saturday, our family lost a member. It wasn't out of the blue. It wasn't unexpected. But we lost my grandmother. So, pictured over here, the lady on the right in this picture is my cousin, Cynthia Worley. I think how does that work? My first cousin. Cynthia is my aunt's daughter. So I think she's my cousin. Anyway, that would be, yeah. So my mom's, no, actually, no, not, okay. So she's my cousin because she's not my, all right. So the lady on the right is my grandmother's sister's daughter. All right. I had to think about that. On the left is my grandmother in this picture. And so we lost my grandmother. She was, sorry. This is her on the left there. She was 101 years old. So it's like I said, it was not a surprise. She lived a very long life. She was born in 1923, in April of 1923. So she's 101 and a half. I honestly thought she had a good chance of making it to 102. But she did not. She passed away outside of St. Louis, Missouri, which is where I am from. That's where she was living. That's where she had her final days. And so, yeah, it is what it is. We lost my grandmother, and she is now with her husband. My grandma's Thelma. Her husband was Paul, the McMillan family. It's where my Irish comes from, my Scotch-Irish McMillan roots. And my grandfather left us 2-3 years ago. He was, I think, 98 when he passed away. Hey, Kevin, what's up? Good to see you in the chat. So, yeah, she apparently passed away at 5:30 Central Time, p.m., 5:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday. October the 19th. And we found out yesterday. So thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Kevin from Tuber Chat. And again, for those of you that are Dan's Life at the Kingdom, for example, Dan's Life at the Kingdom and other channels that are trying to grow, please connect with Kevin. Please connect with Tuber Chat. Subscribe to Tuber Chat and go into their live streams and look at the instructions for the live streams. And Tuber Chat will help you grow in a big, big, big way. So Izzo's Place, Tom F. Definitely connect to Tuber Chat, guys. So that happened. And then, actually not, and then the order I'm telling you this is in reverse of the way it happened, because I didn't find out this news until after the other thing that I'm going to discuss, and that's my mom. So over here is a picture of my mom and Virginia's mom. So that's my mother. My mother-in-law is on the left and my mom is on the right. And my mom went into the hospital last night. So my mom over here pictured there on now the center of your screen. Hopefully we did that right. So my mom is in the hospital. She had a fall last night. And it was fairly serious. Called me around 6:30, I think. Called 911, got into the hospital. And apparently she hasn't slept. She's coherent. I talked to her. She had a lot of... Anyway, she fell in her home, but hit her head pretty bad on the floor. They've run a CAT scan. They've run x-rays. They're running an MRI. They found out that her potassium levels were extremely low and depleted, so they've given her potassium, for dizziness, and she's also diabetic. So they're checking her for sleep apnea and all kinds of other things. So that's hard. I think we were there until 9:30 or so at night at the hospital. My 22-year-old son, he stays with my mom because, to help with things like this, to help take care of her and such. And so he's alone at home. I'll check in on him later, but he's the one that wrote the music for the program, actually. So thank him for the music. But I just wanted to be fully transparent, as Knights of Zerg, I think, is the one that commented on that. But yes, we absolutely do appreciate all of the prayers, all of the love from you guys. Thank you so much for the support. This is not the easiest time at all for our family by any means. And I am just trying to keep a positive face and not completely break down. So if I start crying for seemingly no apparent reason during the stream, you'll know why. It's a little bit different here on YouTube than it is if I were some type of a professional broadcaster and had to hide this stuff and all of that. I don't. I have you guys. You guys are not just an audience, you are a community, and I love you guys. And I picture your faces when you show up, and a lot of you, I know your faces. Going Shogi and Tom and Nina, Jeremy, Izzo's Place. I just thank all of you guys for being here this morning. Mama and my mother-in-law, pray for them. Yes. So, but anyway, we are getting that out of the way and moving on to more fun things. And we're going to have a kind of I think, a fun story to begin with before we get to Zach. And I do believe I have everything properly redirected to Culture Casino and the 6-Minute Daily, and he's got some breaking news or news about Deadpool and Wolverine and the Barbie movie and those types of things. Very excited for that show coming up. But first of all, let's again quickly celebrate. Go and Shogi dropping those 5 gifties, and we will celebrate that in the chat with but the little shorter celebration this time.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo!
Oh, this is just the best of my scene.
Yay! Celebrate. Up to the music. Okay, so yes, love the celebration. And I didn't do a green screen today. I know my face is a little bit washed out. Where do I have to, where to go? No, it's really I need to reset up the light. I need to aim it this way more. How about this? Okay. No, I don't want to move anything. Everything's so delicate in here. Anyhow, let me see if I can share this. Over the weekend, and again, we normally don't like to get political on this channel by any means. I just thought that this looked like a very fun story. My son loves his McDonald's fries. Oh, thank you very much, Go and Shogi, for sharing that. Yes, there is some new merch on the store that involves my signature fedora that has currently blown away. I'm going to get a new one that'll look a lot like the old one, and I will be working on more. I was in the middle of doing some things last night prior to getting called out and going to the hospital and stuff, but new merchandise will be out. I got to figure out a good design for my Broccoli Hill shirts, but we want to put those up, and the Follow the Fedora, Follow the Bradley's Fun is on the merch shop. So yeah, all of those kind of things. Let me see if I can share this, and hopefully the sound will work as well. But see if I can put this on the screen. So this was a trending story over the weekend. And again, I'm not doing this because of the politics of it. I just think the optics are kind of funny. My son loves to go to McDonald's, or loves McDonald's fries. So we do McDonald's fries pretty much every day with the $2 coupon. Like in the app, there's a coupon where you get the fries for $2, the large fries. What does it say? Put that little jar on the lowest back like it's in a pocket. Jar, which jar? Little jar. Is there a jar back here? I don't know. I'll talk to you later about that, Tom F. Anyway, this story was trending over the weekend. I thought it was really funny. This is on X. So I'm going to bring this up. This is President Trump at McDonald's making my son's favorite daily dish. So we talk about the daily dish. My son's daily dish is fries. Okay. I'll check the text later. I will check it later. Whoa, what just happened? I don't know. Cheers. Let me get some. But these are Shipwreck on X says pictures of Trump working at McDonald's today is today's favorite thing. Can you imagine? Just try to imagine for a second though that you pull up to the McDonald's drive-thru and hey, it's President Trump. That's there he is working in the back. Obviously, there's a lot of this is optics and press and Can you imagine being one of the workers at this McDonald's who has to be fully vetted by the Secret Service? Oh gosh. I thought that would be I mean just that alone would be kind of a pain for that particular McDonald's location. But let me see if I can share the video.
It was a big part of her resume that she worked at.
I think he's talking about that, like Kamala had stated that she worked at McDonald's, and so I think he's trying to say, hey, I can not only can I do that as well, but I'll do it now.
Got about 10,000 people out there. That's a big crowd, huh?
Mr. Trump, why did you feel it was important to come here today?
I love McDonald's. I love jobs. I like to see good jobs. And I think it's inappropriate when somebody puts down all over the place that she worked at McDonald's. It was a big part of her resume that she worked at McDonald's, how tough a job it was. She specifically worked at the French fry, where they make the French fries. And she talked about the heat. It was so tough. She never worked at McDonald's. McDonald's just confirmed that again, by the way. She never worked at McDonald's. About 10,000 people out.
Oh my gosh. So that's funny because it's just like McDonald's just confirmed that she actually never worked there. That's just funny to me. Yeah, Secret Service in the background. And it's funny. Speaking of background shots, I don't know if I'd be able to find it. I wonder if I could find it, but there was a time when I was working at Disney and Josh Gad came to our restaurant and I was in the background of the shot, very much like that Secret Service agent was in the shot, and I think it's here. So I'm going to share this with you guys real quick. It's funny. I don't know who took the picture. And then Going Shogi says, Jeremy, I'm sorry. This is funny. The birthday wishes to Kamala were priceless. I had the Secret Service come to the hotel while Obama was president and made work so annoying every time you went in or out of the kitchen, you passed through checkpoints. Yeah, I remember when Obama came to Walt Disney World in the Magic Kingdom. And this was back in, I think, 2015. I was working there at the time, but I wasn't at work that day. I was just going for pleasure. And I remember seeing all of the road. The roads weren't blocked, but they had cops literally every 100 feet or something like that. It was crazy. Like, and then I got to the Magic Kingdom and figured out, oh yeah, Obama's here. That's why. That was an interesting thing. Anyway, I just wanted to share this real quick. This is kind of funny. Let me see. I'll put this on the screen, and you can see Josh Gad. Clearly, that's the restaurant that I used to work at. He's visiting. This little plate of him as Olaf, this is one of our desserts that we had at the restaurant. And I said, hey, that kind of looks like a snowman. Why don't you make that into Olaf? And they did at my suggestion. And if you look in the background of this picture, and I'm going to see if can I blow this up, or is that not? Nope. It's not working. Normally, I can blow these up. Why is it not blowing up anymore? Well, I can't get that one bigger for some reason. But over in the back right side of the picture, the little guy way in the back is me. So I just think that's funny. Let me see here. But yeah, so President Trump worked the fries at McDonald's over the weekend. Yeah, I was way in the background. So technically I'm in a picture with Josh Gad, sort of, but I don't really care because I'm not even a fan of Josh Gad. It was just funny. There were a lot of people in the restaurant that were working that day that were big fans of him. What that was actually December of 2019. And the reason that he was there, the reason that he was in town, there were a lot of celebrities at Disney World literally all at the same time because they were filming promos for Rise of the Resistance when it first opened. which is exactly what that was. He was there because he had filmed a promo for Rise of the Resistance when it first opened. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread as far as a ride is concerned. And if you've never experienced Rise of the Resistance, excuse me, and you are a Star Wars fan, it is worth it that first time. And it's worth it, a few times. But the experience of Rise of the Resistance is such a long experience. It's not like Tower of Terror. When you go on that, the experience is shorter. There's like a really appropriate time, I think, for a ride experience that is a thrill ride is like 90 seconds. 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes at the most. I'm not sure how long Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is. Probably my favorite ride at Disney. That's a thrill ride. My favorite all-time ride at Disney is still Living with the Land. And that's because it's so different than anything else you can experience just about anywhere. It's just so different. I love the safari too, because obviously the safari at Animal Kingdom is also different. And the safari, just like Living with the Land, is different every single time you go on it, which is awesome. So I got to see if I'm going to remove this because I was not getting sound, and I need to find out if I can get sound back on this next one. But we are going to go to the next story. This might actually end up being a shorter show today. If it is a Secret Service, Ron. No, I definitely was not Secret Service for Josh Gad. I would not volunteer to protect Josh Gad. But speaking of Josh Gad, who takes a very particular side on things, we're going to be talking about a superhero who has very much taken the opposite side of things, and that is Mr. Zachary Levi. Let's see if I can bring this up on the screen now. I think a lot of people know that Zach Levi has taken the position that he has. He was on stage. Zachary Levi has publicly endorsed President Trump. And again, I don't, our show is not about size or anything like that. Our show is pop culture, Hollywood. And here's where, especially at this time of the year, there's an election going on, the two happen to intersect. So before I play this clip and before we go on to the next part of the show, if you have children that are watching, and by the way, I should say this, if you haven't done this yet, please click the like button. If you are watching this, you haven't subscribed to the channel, click subscribe. Click the notifications bell, because when you click it, you stick it to the YouTube algorithm. And you get notified of all of our uploads here at Follow the Bradley's Fun. And if you're watching this on the replay, you can leave a comment before you head out the door. Just let us know where you're from or hit replay gang. Any comment will do. Keep it clean, keep it nice, keep the comments respectful, please. Thank you so much. But speaking of respectful comments, I have to let you know that before I play this clip and before we bring this up on the screen, there may be some language in here that, and again, this is much later in the show. I try to avoid it. If I know that it's coming up, I will try to skip around it so that it doesn't happen. But I know that in this clip that I've watched, there's some language, and I need to see if I can figure out what part that is and try to mute it out. But you need to know that here's the warning ahead of time. Language warning. You've been warned. Keep if you're an adult and keep watching, you'll understand. But I'm going to add this to the stage right now so you can see it. And this is Zachary Levi. Now, Zachary Levi played Shazam, of notable characters. He's also played, I don't know, is it Vandal? He played one of Thor's buddies in the Thor movie. I think he's actually replaced the other guy. I don't even remember that actor's name. He played Chuck. Yes, on what was that? Where it's like a Geek Squad kind of a thing, right? But it's not really Geek Squad. But yeah. So and also Disney, he's the voice of I can't think of it. The Rapunzel's prince. Somebody knows that in the chat. But anyway, yes, he's a big Hollywood guy, very well known, very well liked, Flint Rider. Thank you, Flint Rider. Yes, he plays Flint Rider in Rapunzel. So thank you, Knights Observed, for that. I appreciate that. Yes, Chuck and Flint Rider, and just a lot of great roles, well known in Hollywood. He played Fandral. That's what I thought. And so a lot of great roles, and you know, he probably is similar. I don't think anybody really knew this about him. Most Hollywood people, if they're and he's kind of saying this, and you'll see most Hollywood people who are conservative don't really talk about their politics because they're, well, I just want to think, my thing is that you should not have to be afraid no matter what your job is, if you're in the public eye, it doesn't matter which side you take. You shouldn't have to be afraid of losing your job regardless of the side you take, because this is America and we have free and fair and open discourse. So he has a few things to say about that. And again, there may be some language in what he has to say here. So it's a 2-minute long clip. I'm going to play it. Hopefully you can hear it, but I'm going to try and see if I can block out where any language might come up.
Oh, and by the way, too.
And by the way, this was on Instagram, and it was much longer. This is a clip from the Instagram, and it was a long thing, much longer thing on Instagram. But this is a 2-minute clip of it, and let's just play it out and see what Mr. Shazam Zachary Levi has to say.
To Whoopi Goldberg and to Sonny and to all of the folks at The View.
Hey, before we go on here, somebody let me know in the chat, can you actually hear that? Can you, like that? He's not muted, right? You can hear him? While I'm waiting for that chat to come up, I will say, let's see what a couple of these guys say. I shared an elevator with Patton Oswalt, SCC. He was rude to everyone there. When he got out, folks didn't realize who it was because he was in a full rebreather mask. Yeah, well, that's not surprising. That stinks. I met him when I was a huge fan of his stand-up comedy. He wasn't Remy yet. He was a jerk then too. Called me a stalker. I've never heard anything good about Patton Oswalt. Met Zach Levi during the filming of Chuck because I worked with Josh Gomez's publicist at the time. The way he acts on Chuck is pretty much his real personality. Very nice guy. And Tom F is saying yes. I'm assuming that's the yes. You can hear the audio there. Go and Chuggy because I work it every year and know how some of these folks are. I kind of let them all know that this is his behavior was typical for him at Comic-Con. So I would imagine he looks like a pretty regular, pretty normal, nice guy. But now that I know you guys can hear it, let's go on. And again, warning, I'm going to try to mute it when it comes up, but hopefully we'll see what happens.
I don't think it's accurate to say that somehow Hollywood is liberal. To Whoopi's point, back in the day, there might have been a bit more of a balance, and there have always been more, let's say, conservative-leaning stars that have been able to say those things. But you really have to be at a certain level of your career in order to get away with it. Number one, but number two, that was also back then. And I think naming just John Voight and Dennis Quaid, and really you only named John Voight, Whoopi, somebody else had to help you with Dennis Quaid, of the thousands of actors in Hollywood that you could only name two, I think actually speaks to that. And what that means is there's plenty And by the way, they have sent me lots of messages, plenty of people in my industry in Hollywood that are terrified to publicly say that they would vote for Donald Trump or be conservative in any way. That's why you don't see them. That's why they're not very prevalent or prominent, because they know that there's ramifications for this shit. But like I said, y'all, our industry is going to be fucking gonzo. Like it already is. We're getting eroded. The pandemic and the strikes and all these things, they've already eroded it so much. So, you know, my cry to all of you out there, you closeted conservatives, closeted Trump voters, y'all, it's now or never. I don't, you know what I mean? Like I do whatever you feel like you need to do. If you need to come out publicly and say it, if you don't, if you feel like you still can't, then don't, you know, I would never pressure you to that. But know that if what you're afraid of is somehow the backlash of an industry that's not going to exist very soon, then don't let that hold you back, you know? Oh, and by the way, to Whoopi Goldberg and to.
Okay, so there it is. Sorry about the language. A couple words that I couldn't get out. You know, because he's just being real. He's being himself. No big deal there. But there it is. I mean, the left on The View, apparently, I guess I didn't see The View, what they were saying, but apparently they were saying that people don't have to be afraid in Hollywood of speaking out or something like that. Maybe is what it sounds like. But what he's saying is that they are, like most people in Hollywood, if they happen to lean that way, if they're more conservative, that they feel afraid to voice their opinion. And the reason I understand that feeling is I live in Florida, and I worked for the Walt Disney Company at a theme park in Florida. And I felt scared, ostracized, walking on eggshells at my job. Never when I was talking to guests. When I was talking to guests, it was different. But when I was talking to fellow cast members, that's what I was scared of. And I wasn't wrong. It was proved out to be quite correct. That if you have leanings that are anything that it's not even conservative, but it's more like leaning toward the middle, leaning toward the mainstream, leaning towards just regular, just being a normal, regular, traditional, patriotic, Jewish or Christian person or whatever. The left is intolerant. And you don't understand it, you don't feel it until you are working at a corporation or in an industry or anything where the people that you are working with above you, your quote unquote leadership, is intolerant of you. Well, hypocritically thinking that you're intolerant of them. It's such a challenge. It is such a challenge. And anyway, like Zach Levi's coming out and he's saying that, you know, I guess he's saying he understands the risks, but he's also saying that because they are leaning that way, because the industry is leaning that way, that the industry is killing itself. I'm guessing he didn't use the word, but I think that, you know, as pundits here on YouTube, we often say the word woke. That wokeism is killing the entertainment industry because the majority of people, especially in the United States, at least, I don't know about the world, can't speak for the world, but the majority of people in the United States are more down to earth, more normal, more liberal. We don't care what you do as an adult. But if you are if you're in a minority based on your choice of actions, okay? Based upon your choice of actions, and you're in a minority, and you're trying to preach that everybody needs to be tolerant of your actions, and then you especially try to preach that to children, and you aim, especially, I think in the last few years, I think the biggest mistake is that this wokeism is aimed towards kids. Really, really bad. And if you saw the watch party that we did on WDW Pro for Agatha on Wednesday night, you know what I'm talking about. And I think that there's been some videos from WDW Pro cut from that. You know what I'm talking about. That particular show, Agatha All Along, is not made for families, but they're advertising it as if it's made for everybody. And it really is not. And you can tell because not everybody's watching it. It's not like an Iron Man where just like everybody clamored onto it. It's not like the Avengers where everybody clamored onto it. Like you watch the Avengers and yeah, there's some couple little language things and things like that, but it's like, you know, it's not like family friendly for the littles as far as Avengers is concerned, but when you feel comfortable that there's not going to be any ideology trying to be forced on your kids when you watch the Avengers. It's just, here's the people on the right, the Avengers, here's the people on the wrong, Loki and Thanos and their army, and right versus wrong, and right wins. Yay! I mean, you tell a good story of right versus wrong, and right comes out on top. Yay, that works. Same thing with Shazam. It's funny because when I see him now, it kind of, like, I guess, was Wonder Woman in Shazam? She showed up, right? I think. I don't know. I feel like there was. Okay, I don't know if Zach and Gal Gadot ever worked together directly, but I think that they would make a good pairing. It would be interesting to see, especially with Shazam's history in the comic books, like his backstory and Wonder Woman's backstory both come from mythology, and that would be an interesting team up. But I also think that because of their ideologies, they probably work well together. Now, I can't say that Gal Gadot's necessarily particularly conservative, but she's Israeli, and I'm sure that they both worked with Rachel Zegler, and I can't imagine. Here's the funny thing. When you work with people that have different ideologies from you, you get along, you're fine, you're good. It's just weird when they make statements that just kind of break your heart. That's all. But yeah, so let's look at the comments here from you guys on this. Get it back up here. Because I wanted to go back up all the word. Ooh. All right, so he's not wrong. He's just being blunt. And then Go and Shogi also says, I have a feeling he had some even more blunt language at the end there. Yeah, I want to see if I can find. Well, I think I've already found it on Instagram. I'm not going to play the whole thing on the show, but I wanted to see the whole thing on Instagram, just like this show when he went live on Instagram. A long first part of it is him saying hi to people that were coming into that chat. So I haven't watched the entire thing, and I really do want to see that. But it's on Zachary Levi's Instagram. If you go there, I'm not going to even link it, but you guys can go there on your own and find that. In today's society, you don't have to tell people who you're voting for. It shows in your daily dish. Well, I'm simply voting for. I think everybody does this. Everybody votes for who they perceive to be right over wrong. The people that are voting, it's a matter of perception, and I get that. But you also have to be wise enough to check different sources, right? So when you're getting your media, you need to check different sources. Again, I've told people this before. I didn't like Trump before he ran for president. at all. I just thought, man, what a schmo this guy is. What a jerk. Like, it was fun to watch him on The Apprentice because he was so mean. You know, the whole "you're fired" thing. I mean, but that doesn't mean I liked him. But that persona is actually that was his media persona for that show, that worked on the show because of the whole "you're fired" thing. It worked out. Truth is, you know, a lot of people believe that that's his real personality, and it's actually kind of not. He's actually much nicer in person than that, and he's done some amazing things for people that I know of. And I know that because I am not subscribed to simply one media source. I watch them all and can discern from the different things that I watch what the truth is versus simply a very slender perspective, right? So you can look at something and you go, okay, I'm pulling out from that what my interpretation is, but is my interpretation correct? Right. So if I'm looking at something and I'm going, what does that mean? Who is this person and that kind of stuff? I might need to look at more than one resource to find out if my interpretation of that is correct. And that's what I do. And I think that as an adult and as you get older, that's the thing that you should do is being, looking at different resources to find out what the person actually meant. With Trump, I will tell you, if you just take a soundbite, a lot of times what you think the soundbite said, what it came across as like directly, it's not really what he meant. And a lot of times he's joking around, and he does it on purpose. That may be his downfall, is that some of the things he says are on purpose, and they're meant to stir up the emotion, but he's really just joking around because he knows that he's stirring up the emotions of the people that are against him. It's just kind of a fun thing, but you got to know that. God and country, or treason and Marxism. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Let's see here. You've got Agatha was made for people who watch The View. Well, you would think that they should have a bigger audience, so maybe it's only a very small percentage of the people that watch The View. When I was a parent of young children, I could take them to a Disney movie confident that it would be child appropriate and we'd both enjoy it. Well, yeah, that was true even up to just a few years ago. This is really funny. They both survived Rachel Zegler. The funny thing is, I would imagine working with her is a whole different experience than who she portrays herself to be sometimes in her media clips. She's very young, and to me, Rachel Zegler comes off simply as an uneducated or miseducated, naive person who doesn't understand the world. She's actually, to me, somebody who very well, as she gets older, if she has the correct influences, could change her perspective a lot if she becomes open-minded. Right now, she seems very, very closed-minded, and that's unfortunate. A mind is like a parachute. It only works when it is open. So Knights of Zurich says, now I have to pre-screen everything. Few Disney movies nowadays are worth seeing twice. Few Disney movies nowadays are worth seeing once. Let's be honest. Yes. I know, right? And Native Hawaiian says we need to get back to a point in this country when asking about people's politics is bad form. And Knights of Zurich says, so I don't take my grandkids to Disney movies anymore. Disney is destroying the multi-generational fans, which could be their death knell. Truth of the matter is, they're not gaining the new fans that they have been going for either. It shows up in the numbers, frankly. They're just not getting. There's an audience they're trying to direct their messaging toward, and they're not picking up that audience either because the stories are just so bad. What happens anytime you have an ideology that you're shooting for, and that's more important to you than the story takes a back seat, and you end up with things like She-Hulk. where people think they're being clever, but they're actually being distracted from writing a good story. And also, She-Hulk just visually looked bad. It was so weird because the CGI on the Hulk in She-Hulk looked like the Hulk. Maybe that's because they have renderings in their computers or something, but She-Hulk didn't look right. She just never looked right. It was so, weird. Rickshaw says, go and show you the View joke got me good. That's good. Trump kind of talks like a New Yorker because he is. Duh. Yep, absolutely. Rickshaw. And I bet Ziegler is that all the time. She thinks she has elevated thinking and wants to lord it over others. It does seem like she has that kind of because she's young, to me, she comes across as a young, naive know-it-all who doesn't know it all. Like she's trying to show that she is a know-it-all when she really doesn't. And I think that she's afraid. I sense from her a perception of fear that people will actually get to know how vulnerable she actually is, and she's scared of that. Let's see. Tom F says, heading out the door, heading to the doc's visit. See you later. Have a great day. Have a great day, Tom F. Be safe. I'll call you or text you later. And Going Shogi says bye. And have a great day, Tom. Thanks from my beautiful wife. And everybody saying hi to Tom F. Actually, we're going to be saying bye to each other because we're all going to get going and going over to Culture Casino. Just got a Peter Pan commercial for the Fox Theater. Our girls just got to see Hamilton up there. I never performed at the Fox Theater. I saw some great shows there. I've seen Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis both at the Fox Theater, so that was cool. Love the Fox Theater. I did perform at Powell Symphony Hall. If that's still there, I would assume it is. And it was interesting because it was stage fighting. I performed in a stage fight in front of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra at Powell Symphony Hall. What an experience that was. Story for another day. But for this day, what we want to do is celebrate. Once again, Go and Shogi. Before we head out the door, of course, we like to do another celebration. So like, subscribe, share if you haven't already. And in the meantime, before we head out the door and before I say goodbye to everybody, let's have one last long celebration.
Is it too much? Too much? It's a perfect! Wahoo! Oh, this is too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, anticipation. It's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
It just seems to me that he might be a pretty decent guy, I must say.
Actually, I think Pat Sajak is on the schedule this year for the candlelight processional at Epcot. I will be going over that later on this week as well. I will not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow there will be no Daily Dish show. I'm going to try and put up a video at 9:30. And depending on what that video is, it could potentially go out to just members first. And then if it releases that way, it will be by membership level. So keep an eye out for it, although I can't promise anything because of I don't know what's going to happen with my mom in the hospital and what I might need to do. I just don't know what my schedule is going to be. And then there's some other things that we have going on here. Life is happening. It still does, even when you have a job like this. So thank you all so much for being here today. And going Shogi again, thank you for gifties. And, I just so much appreciate your support. It really warms my heart to know that I have you guys out there. You got my back and I got yours, and I am going to keep giving you the best that I possibly can. And hopefully my best gets better over time. Thank you, Knights of Zerg, for the prayers. Thank you, Jeremy Heath, going Shogi, Tom F., everybody out there who has been so gracious to us. And of course, my beautiful wife for modding Rickshaw. Thank you so much. Everybody out there, even if I didn't hit your name, I just appreciate you guys so much. And it is on that note that I will let you go for the day. And everybody say hi to Culture on the way in over to him that you're rating in from Follow the Bradley's Fun. And until next time, remember, the magic is in you. So yeah. No matter where you are, you've got that magic with you. It's not a company, it's you guys. Thank you so much. You're the Energon that makes this guy transform and roll out. We will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.